9-7.
Total time, 9-7 with 6 rounds. If it was me at 7 yards, A-zone size of target that I'm trying to land a round into, let's just go back to the dope drill. At 5 yards, how much of a sight picture is necessary to start this engagement of 5 rounds?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, and I pretty much could predict it to be there rather than have to see it there. Seeing it there is gonna be either in the dot lift, the dot settle and stop motion, which is gonna be that slowest, hardest confirmation that the dot is center of the A-zone. A one that, you know, strifes and continuous movement up as I lift the gun from that low cover or low ready position through the A-zone, and in continuous movement continue to shoot. That would be a faster sight picture, but I can actually just predict the sight picture to be there at this distance, all right? 5 yards, our goal with the dope drill is to really pick up points and maximize those points with the least amount of time. That's at every yard line, but really you want to pick all those points up and maximize them here at this 5 yard distance and 10 yard distance. So at 7 yards, what we're going to do is start working up into getting our build drills to be around 1 second. You know, the standard yesterday that I told you with pistol was 2 seconds, all A-zone hits, and it was at 7 yards with pistol. So if we look at the dope drill and correlate it with the build drill, if yesterday the goal with the pistol was to get a 10 hit factor on the dope drill, but a 20 hit factor today with the rifle, then let's just cut the time off of the 2 seconds, we'll chop it by 1 full second. I want you to be able to, at 7 yards, put 6 rounds into that target in 1 second or less. The only way you're gonna be able to do that is not by seeing the information to be there, confirm it's there, then react to it. If you're reacting to it, there's already a delay that the eyes are perceiving it, they confirm that it's there, the brain tells the body then to press pressure on the trigger. So you're already well behind this sequence and when you need to be breaking those rounds, right? So if we can process information fast, we can keep our tactics escalated at a high level because we're not having to think or cater to a lower demographic of shooters. There's a lot of guys out there in this industry who teach tactics and teach tactics very fucking well, but they can't shoot. So their tactics and what they're teaching fall short, real short, because of their shooting ability. And because we're now taking the tactics at a high level and those fundamentals that make the tactics work at a very high level, the fundamental shooter is sloppy, and the shooter is what now we have to bring the tactics down to cater to the shooter's ability. And that's when all hell breaks loose and bad shit happens to good operators. All right, so that A-zone, 7 yards, I'm gonna make it my bitch. How I'm gonna do that is I'm going to plant and start training what predictable sight pictures I want to look like and then how it feels. I'm planting the dot dead center of the A-zone, so you guys see that laser. All right, cool. Now it's dead center of the A-zone. I feel that. I don't necessarily need to see that. Once I come down to that low cover position, all I need to do is recreate it. In time, you guys will feel, we're in Florida, but do I have any compound bow hunters here? So you know how you have, when you draw, you have an anchoring point, like a kisser button, right? So what is your cheek weld? That anchoring point, It's that kisser button. If I have a consistent, this is another reason why I'm an advocate for risers. When you take that riser, you lift it, it's a chin weld. If I can index the same freaking location every single time because I'm not having to strain to get behind the sight solution, that EOTech reticle onto that target, it's consistent and not disrupted. All I have to do is lift, feel, go, lift, feel, go, lift, feel, go, and I'll prove it to you. On the signal, I am going to predict to center my sight picture and press 1 round off. I want you to see how fast we can get this first round engagement actually to go on this target. All right, no laser involved, so it's not point shooting. I put the sights directly center. I come down to that low cover where I can no longer see a reticle, and I'm ready.
Stand by.
All right, as soon as I feel it, I go bang.
2-4.
And it's a 2-4 response. So if I start my engagement in a 2-4, and then I get my average splits of 15, 16 splits with 6 rounds, held center wherever my eyes are, they will go. Now I don't necessarily have to see it because watch when I see it. I'll turn my laser on for this so you can actually see what I see. As soon as that dot enters the target, I will go bang.
Stand by.
You see it, enter the target, I react to it. That's a reactive engagement. Time is a 3-4, a tenth slower. So that means I have to then do what? Faster, and hope for all the best. I have to press the trigger faster. Most likely it's gonna build tension because I know I saw too much and I'm trying to input more trigger pressure at a faster rate. So what I'm gonna do, is I'm going to predict sight over and over and over again. So I typically will do this 10 times, and then I add 5 rounds to it. I add 6 rounds to it, and we execute build drills. A build drill on a 3-4 reactive sight picture is going to probably be just over 1 full second, all right? A predictive sight picture, I guarantee you we can get those 6 rounds in under a second. So I'll just do some predictive sight picture exercises for you. Every time you'll see me do the exact same thing. Perfect sight picture, low cover, weapon still unsafe, and eyes are above the optic.
Stand by.
Time?
2-7.
All right, 2-7, let's do it again. Perfect sight picture, low cover.
Stand by. 2-4.
All right, 2-4. Perfect sight picture again, low cover.
Stand by. 19.
Okay, and I'm getting better and better at predicting this to center and not having to see it. Cool. The only way that I can now test the fall through and not just go home, pat myself on the back because I built a bunch of bad habits, because after I shot the 1 round, finger goes off trigger, engagement's over, I add rounds to it. So I'm gonna go to 6 rounds now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from that predictive sight picture.
Stand by. 9-7.
Total time, 9-7 with 6 rounds. So a build drill in under a second is not a dream. It's not fantasy. It's very doable. And I can control and mitigate, because of the distance, because of the size of target, all my rounds to maximize the amount of points in my gun. That's what I want to get across to you guys, because if we pull hit factor on it, I'm always going to see that hit factor number go up, meaning I'm going to have to accept less information. When did that engagement start?
25.
So you guys know I'm not gaming it. I'm not seeing the dot just to send 6 rounds, because when do you believe that I'm actually picking up the dot's information and managing it to where my eyes are at?
After a couple rounds.
After a couple rounds, right? It's taking a minute for it to bounce and then get in a behavior in which my eyes perceive, my brain is now processing, hey, it's there, don't get distracted by it, right? So I'm just holding to center. That group where all those 6 rounds land is because my eyes are there. Not because I'm forcing it there, pushing it there, or tracking and trying to steer for correction that sight.